A routine deep-sea exploration took an unexpected turn when a robotic diver, operated by maritime archaeologist Kira, latched onto a corroded container resting on the seabed. The team aboard the research vessel watched through grainy monitors as the mechanical arm worked to pry it open. As the container's doors creaked apart, the control room fell into stunned silence, their monitors displaying an unbelievable sight. No one could comprehend how this had ended up at the bottom of the ocean. The supervisor was the first to react. "We have to call the U.S. Coast Guard," he instructed, shooting a glance at an employee who quickly rushed to make the call. The robotic diver, the latest prototype designed to withstand immense pressure at greater depths, had been undergoing a trial run when it discovered the massive container. As the diver moved closer, its exterior shifted in hue from a deep purple to a corroded red. This site had no known shipwrecks, and no official excavation had been scheduled there. Initially, Kira suspected the container held lost cargo, perhaps goods that had never reached their intended destination. An uneasy feeling lingered, hinting that the contents might be far more extraordinary. With bated breath, the team watched as the robotic diver fully opened the container. Their faces paled at the sight within. How could this be here? How had it been lost to the depths? Moments later, the distant hum of an approaching engine grew louder. A sleek white Coast Guard vessel cut through the waves, stopping alongside their ship. A team of uniformed officers swiftly boarded. "I'm Commander Walsh," the leading officer introduced himself, shaking Kira's hand firmly. "We received your distress call." His sharp gaze assessed the tense expressions around him. After a brief discussion, the decision was made to secure the area immediately. Marker buoys were deployed, establishing a restricted zone around the container. Meanwhile, the robotic diver pried it open further, revealing an astonishing sight. Inside lay a trove of artwork, each piece seemingly more valuable than the last. Kira and the Coast Guard officers leaned closer to the monitor, eyes widening in disbelief. "Is that?" Kira trailed off, pointing to a painting still retaining its vibrant hues. Commander Walsh nodded gravely. "Yes, that's one of the pieces reported stolen from a Parisian gallery years ago." One by one, they identified multiple artworks, each with its own history of mysterious disappearance. What they had found was not just treasure, it was a puzzle spanning continents and decades. The team immediately began documenting the recovered art. Kira, alongside specialists, meticulously recorded each piece, noting its condition and any identifying marks. "We're dealing with international thefts," Walsh stated, the weight of the revelation settling over them. Yet, as they investigated further, they hit a peculiar roadblock. The container's ID number was untraceable in any shipping registry. "It's as if it never existed," remarked one of the Coast Guard analysts. This anomaly was the first hint that the discovery wasn't just about lost art, it was about deliberate concealment. Determined, the team delved deeper. As they pieced together fragmented records, troubling inconsistencies emerged. Shipping dates and destinations had been altered, and some documents were missing entirely. Realizing the vastness of their investigation, they reached out to international authorities. Embassies, cultural institutions, and governments soon became involved, demanding updates and asserting claims over the recovered masterpieces. Kira now bore the weight of an incident far beyond her initial discovery. This was no longer a simple find. It was a global controversy with diplomatic implications. Restoring the water-damaged artwork became an urgent mission. Kira collaborated with conservation experts to stabilize and salvage the pieces, each one requiring delicate, time-sensitive treatment. Every painting and sculpture extracted from the container was carefully documented, preserved, and safeguarded. Meanwhile, intelligence officers began scrutinizing the shipping company's routes and records. They combed through manifests, bills of lading, and crew lists, searching for patterns. Soon, it became evident that they were dealing with something far more sinister than mere lost cargo. To get to the bottom of it, agents were inserted undercover into the company's operations, posing as employees and contractors. As they infiltrated deeper, they unraveled a tangled web of deception. The shipping company was operating a covert smuggling ring, orchestrating the illicit transport of stolen art. Their breakthrough came when a former employee of the company, disillusioned by its criminal dealings, offered to talk. The whistleblower provided crucial details, explaining how the art smuggling was executed and how the company systematically erased its tracks. With this newfound evidence, the investigators connected the mysterious container to a broader network of organized smuggling. This was no accident. The artwork had been deliberately hidden at sea to avoid detection. As the case gained momentum, the focus shifted to the shipping company's top executives. Once just corporate figures, they were now prime suspects in a major criminal operation. Armed with indisputable evidence, Kira and law enforcement confronted the company's leaders. The air was thick with tension as accusations were laid out, and the truth could no longer be denied. Faced with overwhelming proof, the smugglers began to crack. One by one, they confessed, revealing the extent of their involvement in the decades-long conspiracy. The final pieces of the puzzle clicked into place, exposing the operation in its entirety. With the criminals apprehended, attention turned to the stolen artwork. Plans were swiftly put in motion to return the priceless pieces to their rightful owners, museums, galleries, and private collectors across the world. Meanwhile, legal proceedings were initiated against those responsible. The once powerful shipping company faced severe repercussions, its reputation irreversibly damaged. Kira, for her part, was hailed as a hero. Her dedication and perseverance had not only solved a long-standing mystery, but had also restored invaluable cultural heritage to the world. It was a victory not just for her, but for art, history, and justice itself. But the story did not end there. As more agencies became involved, new leads emerged, suggesting this container was just one of many hidden across the oceans. The true scale of the smuggling ring was only beginning to surface. Kira, now thrust into the spotlight, was asked to lead further investigations. What other secrets lay buried beneath the waves? The hunt for answers had only just begun. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on our latest discoveries and thrilling mysteries.